The Kareth city of Halanthus spread like veins across the crystal fields. Structures pulsed with inner light, and the air smelled faintly metallic, sharp but not unpleasant. The Kareth themselves were tall, with pale iridescent skin and eyes the color of deep oceans. They moved with deliberate grace, as though every motion carried sacred weight. Elias stood within the great hall of the Matriarch's palace, shifting uncomfortably beneath the weight of 100 Kareth gazes. His dark Terran uniform marked him as an outsider, but more than that, an intruder. At the end of the hall, seated on a throne carved from living crystal, the matriarch herself regarded him. Age had lined her features, but her presence was no less commanding. Her robes shimmered in the glow of bioluminescent patterns, changing hues with every subtle breath. When she spoke, her voice was soft yet carried across the chamber. "Captain Elias Roan of Terra, you know why you have been summoned." Elias bowed slightly, though he had never been taught the Kareth rituals. "I came under orders of the Union, to discuss mutual defense, trade, and knowledge sharing." The matriarch's gaze was unblinking. "So you believe?" Her words echoed in Elias's mind strangely, not as sound alone but as thought and resonance. Kareth telepathic undertones. It made him uneasy. And then, before all the court, the unthinkable happened. The matriarch stood. Slowly, painfully, she descended the dais. When she reached Elias, she lowered herself to her knees. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Kareth did not kneel. Not before their own kind, and certainly not before humans. Her trembling hands reached forward. Her eyes glistened. "Human," she whispered. "I beg you, save my daughter's future." A plea. Elias froze. Around him, Kareth nobles stiffened in outrage. The idea of their sovereign debasing herself was beyond comprehension. But the matriarch ignored their stares. She lifted her face to Elias, and he saw something that startled him more than any display of alien power: fear. "My daughter, Princess Solara," she said, her voice breaking. "She is bound by law to wed within our kind, to preserve what little remains of our bloodline. But the Kareth wither. Our children are fewer with each passing generation. Our empire will collapse, our people fade into nothing. Unless," she swallowed hard, "unless she weds outside. Unless new blood strengthens us. Unless a bridge is made between our species." Elias's chest tightened. "You're asking me to marry your daughter?" Whispers erupted like fire across the chamber. A few shouted in protest. The Kareth ambassador nearest them spat words in their tongue, furious, demanding the matriarch rise. But she remained on her knees. "I am asking you to save us," she said. "Save her. Save Kareth." Elias stared at her. His orders had never mentioned this. The Union had hoped for trade, maybe military cooperation. But this, marriage to an alien princess. His mind spun with the implications. His own life bound forever, tied into a people whose customs he barely understood. And yet, the matriarch's eyes held a mother's desperation. Meeting Solara. That evening, Elias was taken to the gardens, where crystalline flora glowed under twin moons. There he met Princess Solara. She was younger than he expected, her features striking, her presence calm yet wary. "I suppose you've been told," she said softly, her voice like chimes. "Yes," Elias replied, uncertain how to even begin. "And what do you think of all this?" Her lips curved into a faint, humorless smile. "That my mother is desperate. That she would cast centuries of tradition into the abyss to save us. That she would kneel to a human." She studied him, her ocean eyes reflecting the glow of alien blossoms. And that you did not say no immediately. Elias shifted. I didn't want to insult her. Or you. Solara's gaze lingered. You are caught between duty and mercy. So am I. They walked among the glowing plants in silence for a time. Then Solara spoke again, quieter now. Do you know why our numbers fade? It is not merely age or weakness. Our ancestors bound our genes, restricting what we could be, seeking perfection. They made us fragile. Now without change we will vanish. My mother hopes that your bloodline, your chaos as she calls it, might restore what was lost. Elias swallowed. And you? Do you believe it? Solara's voice trembled. I believe I have no choice. The court's resistance. The following days were chaos. Karethi nobles railed against the Matriarch's decision. Councils convened, some threatening rebellion if the marriage proceeded. Elias was summoned repeatedly, pressed with questions, accused of manipulation. He defended himself, insisting he had not come to demand anything. But the truth lingered. If he accepted, he would become bound to their empire. And if he refused, Kareth might shatter. Solara, though reserved, became his only confidant. They spent hours speaking, about Earth, about Kareth, about the stars they both longed to explore freely. She was intelligent, sharp, burdened with duty. And slowly, Elias began to see her not only as a princess, but as a woman standing on the edge of extinction. Yet he could also see the danger. Marrying her would make him a symbol, hated by many, used by others, forever watched. The turning point. One night the palace was attacked. Rebels, Karethi extremists who believed the matriarch's choice was blasphemy, stormed the halls. Crystals shattered, guards fell. Elias fought beside Karethi soldiers, his human reflexes surprising even himself. In the chaos, Solara was cornered. Elias threw himself between her and the rebels, taking a blade across his arm. He fought back fiercely, protecting her until reinforcements arrived. When it was over, Solara knelt beside him as medics tended his wound. Her hands shook as she pressed against the bleeding. Her eyes shone, not with royal detachment, but with raw emotion. You could have run, she whispered. I couldn't, Elias replied, wincing. Not when your future depends on me. Something in her gaze shifted then, a softness breaking through years of duty. Choice. The council demanded an answer. Humanity awaited word as well. The matriarch, her strength waning, looked to Elias with pleading eyes. And Solara, no longer just a stranger, but someone Elias had come to respect, perhaps even care for, stood beside her. Before the gathered court, Elias spoke. I was sent here as an envoy, not as a husband. I did not expect to be asked for such a choice. But in these days I have seen your strength, your fragility, and your hope. And I cannot ignore what I've seen.